Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How you doing? Hope you all had a great week this past week. As the market gave us plenty of opportunities to capitalize on. This week I'll be going into an in-depth analysis of the four major pairs, that is gold, Euro USD, GBP USD, and GBP JPY. So I'll be plotting new lines, new support and resistance levels and trend lines as well, just to identify key areas that we'll be looking out for and probably waiting for price to get to or to react to before taking our trades this upcoming week. So as usual, I'll start with gold from the weekly time frame. And from the weekly time frame, we can see that price was forming this lower low and got to this level here and failed to break below this area here, which in turn is a very key area of structure because price has tested it numerous times and has failed to close above it. Okay, so this area just quickly represented by so a blue zone. Okay, and so this is a very key area of support that if price eventually gets to this area here, then we'll be expecting a massive rejection all the way to the top, and there's still the possibility that price could reject it could get to that area. But looking at it in the long term, that would be more of a long-term trade. But for now, I am still very bullish on on gold currently. Another area I can identify, of course, is this next resistance here that price bounced off. We'll look at it again on a smaller time frame. And another area again is this area here that price has tested twice already. Okay, so if we go to a smaller time frame, so the daily time frame, for example, we can identify a turning point here for this particular trade, and that is where this level turned. So that's this area over here. We can see that there is an area of support or a demand area here that when price got into this area, there was a quick rejection all the way to the top. Okay, and again, I represent this with another color to differentiate the weekly support and resistance from the daily support and resistance. Okay, so I'll represent this with the red color. All right, so looking at this as well, we can also identify this level over here. Okay, and that is this area that price has also tested 4 times already. So that is 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's a possibility that price could get all the way here as well, possibly reject it or continue all the way to this level. Also, looking at the daily time frame, we can see that price is on course to possibly forming an inverse head and shoulder. Okay, and you can easily identify it, and I'll plot it out for you. Okay, so this is the left shoulder that I'm plotting now, right? And as you can see, the head, I'm just going to try to plot this out properly. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. But let me just plot it out properly so that you can see and be able to identify the structures very well. Okay, so the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and you can see the head as well. So the right shoulder just formed, and now price is going all the way to the top. All right, so this is what we can see on the daily time frame, and it's possibility that price could break this level here all the way to the top, completing this head and shoulder pattern. So this is something that we have to look out for in the upcoming week as well. So let me take this out. If we now go further to the 4-hour time from where I normally take my entry, we can see that price, has been forming this lower low and lower high, lower low and lower high, and got to this point here where price has broken above this previous high here. So lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, then has broken this previous level of structure here, which is this previous high, all the way to this area. So it could mean that price could continue all the way to the top. Also, if we draw this trend line here, which is going to be key for us in the upcoming week to capitalize on the gold move, we can see that price has gotten to this trend line over here. Okay, so what we'll be looking for now is a reaction to this trend line. Okay, if there will be a bounce of the trend line or a break of the trend line. Now, if there is a break of this trend line, I always encourage my subscribers to wait for a retest. Okay, so there could be a break of the trend line and a retest, either a retest of this support area here or of the trend line itself, but there will be a retest around here as well, and a further bounce to the upside. Okay, and a further bounce to the upside. So if that happens, then we should be looking to capitalize on this up move, and it's going to give us a massive amount of profits. So we'll be targeting about 600 pips on this move. Okay, and we'll be risking about 150 pips on this move. So a very good risk to reward ratio of 1:4. Okay, so if we can capitalize on this break of this trend line, then we'll be looking to gain a lot of pips from this move, and this is what we'll be looking out for in the upcoming week for gold. So on the 4-hour time frame, we can identify key areas where we can add on to our positions, if this trade goes according to plan. So one key area is this one over here. Okay, let me change the color to yellow. Okay, all right, so this one key area, so we're waiting for a break of this area and a retest of it again, then before taking our trades to the top. Another key area will be this one over here. As you can see, price has reacted multiple times to this area. Okay, so here, and here as well. So when price gets down here and it gets here, you should be taking partial profits and moving your stops to break even, because price can come all the way back down to this area again before finally breaking this. So price gets to this area, take partial profits, move your stops to break even. You wait for price to break this area. If price breaks this area eventually, you wait for a retest and enter. Okay, you wait for a retest and enter again before taking the trade to the top side. Okay, and this will give us an additional, should be looking at an additional 400 pips on that trade as well. Okay, to risk about 100 pips or 150 pips again. Then another area that we'll be looking out for is this area over here. Okay, which we can also capitalize on if price breaks above it, to look for another entry to take a smaller trade, maybe about 100 pips on that move as well. So if we look at this 400 pips plus 600 pips, that is 1,000 pips plus 100, so 1,100 pips on this particular up move, so we can capitalize on it as time goes on. So the next pair that we're going to analyze is going to be the Euro USD. Again, we'll be starting from the weekly time frame, and we'll just draw our key area of support and resistance and our trend lines as well. Key areas that we'll be looking out for the upcoming week. Okay, so starting with the weekly time frame, we can see that price has gotten to this level of structure here and broken below it as well. Okay, so this is a very key area, and even if we draw the area all the way to this side, you can see that price has tested it several times in the past, and price has currently gotten to that area as well. Okay, so there is a possibility that price could break below this area, okay, and continue to the downside. All right, And from what we've been seeing so far, there is a very strong downward momentum, but there's also that possibility that price could bounce off this area to the top. Okay, so we have to be very careful with this pair in the upcoming week. Okay, so this is a key area that we've been able to identify on the weekly time frame. Okay, when we go to the daily, well, let me also identify this area, the resistance areas as well. So like this area, very important as well. Okay, represented by the blue, like we did for gold. Then we can go to the 1 hour, the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we can also identify some key areas as well. We'll be representing them by the red line. Okay, so this is a key area that price has bounced from, key area of key supply area, key resistance area. Well, we'll be representing with the red area. Okay, then another area that we need to look out for as well is just this immediate area here where price has just broken as well, because I'll be expecting that price will get to that area. Okay, so that's this one over here. All right, so like I said, there's a possibility that price could just break, continue to the downside because of the break of this area. Okay, so just price just touched this area twice, and now it's gotten here and it's just still in that area. So what could happen is continuation to the downside, a retest, okay, of that area and moves all the way down, or price could move up a bit, possibly to this area here as well, and all the way down there to break this area and continue its down move. Okay, that's one possibility. Or price could get to this area, bounce back, and move to the top and just continue its up move. Okay, so we can see that this area here, that the price it's at currently, is a very, very, very key area for us. The 1.16 area is very, very key, and we'll be looking to see how price reacts to this area in the upcoming week. If we move to a smaller time frame, we can see how we can capitalize on the move in the upcoming week. So we have to be patient and just wait for price to form. When we look at this, we can see that price is still comfortably in here and hasn't really given us anything concrete to work on. So we'll be waiting to see how price reacts, and like I said, any break below this level on the daily time frame, that's what we'll be looking at mostly. Below this area on the daily time frame, if there is a close, then we'll be looking possibly a continuation to the downside. On the other hand, we can be looking for price to get up to this area as well. If price gives us an opportunity to buy, then we should be looking to buy and take our profit here. Personally, what I will be looking out for in the upcoming week is not to take any buy trade or any trades on Euro USD just as yet. My plan would be to wait for a break above this red zone over here. Okay, and if we draw the trend line as well, so I will be looking for this move here to the top, and it may take a while to get there, and see how price reacts to this area over here. Okay, so if price gives a reversal signal around here that it wants to reverse to the downside, then I will be taking the trades, the sell trade all the way to the downside. But if price moves swiftly to the top, then I'll be taking my buy trades all the way to the upside, and that's waiting for a break of this trend line over here. Okay. And if that happens, if the break of this trend line happens, then I'll wait for a retest of this area as well as the trend line and take my buy opportunities all the way to this side. So for me, I'll be waiting. I'm not going to trade Euro USD. I'm waiting for a possible break of this resistance area and trend line, and I'll take my entry on a retest all the way to the top. However, if price decides to move to the downside from here, then I'll be waiting for a break to the downside on the daily time frame and a retest before entering a sell trade to the downside. But for this trade, this is what I'm looking at mostly, this 200 pip move, and I'll be capitalizing on that if that happens in the upcoming week. So this is my analysis for Euro USD for the upcoming week. I'm expecting price to continue to this area here and possibly break this trend line and give us a retest and opportunity to enter a buy trade to the top. If price gets to this trend line and gives us a bearish signal, then I'll be looking to sell all the way back down to this zone over here, because a sell signal could give us a sell from here all the way back down to this level and possibly a buy signal to the top as well, forming like a double bottom all the way to the top. So this is what I'm looking out for. I wouldn't really take any buy signals from here, but I'll be taking a buy signal if this trend line is broken. That's why I'll be looking to buy this trade. If not, I wouldn't be buying until that happens, and I will only sell when there is a break and closure below this weekly support level. So that's my analysis for Euro USD. Next, I'll be talking about GBP USD and GBP JPY. Okay, so for GBP USD, again, we'll be going through the weekly time frame, and we'll do a top-down analysis just to give us a clear idea of where price is heading to. So from the weekly time frame, we can see that price has made this lovely down move here and has gotten to an area of support right now on the weekly time frame, and giving us some sort of rejection from that level of support. Okay, so as you can see, the weekly support represented by the blue zone, price got into this level of support and quickly rejected to the upside. You can see price has tested it several times here when it was resistance, quickly broke out of it and hasn't tested it again until this level here. So price just tested it here. And also, if you draw your Fibonacci retracement from this swing low here, you can see that this level is around the 50% and 61.8% Fibonacci level, which is also a very key area. So we are actually on point to note that this is a very key area of support, and we're expecting a continuation, a bounce to the upside now. Okay, now if we look at this, then we can plot our key level of resistance here on the weekly time frame. So if we go to the daily time frame, we can see more areas closely where we can capitalize on in the upcoming week. Since we know that price has just bounced off this resistance area, or this support area right on the weekly time frame, and we can see the bounce to the top, we can note that price is getting to this area of resistance now that it's broken. Area of formerly support, and now price has got into that area. On the daily time frame, it will be representing it by the red zone. So as you can see, price has bounced and is getting to this red zone here. So this is where we'll be looking for any price reaction. If price will bounce off this area, or if price is going to break that area. So that's what we'll be looking for. That's the 1.36 area. If there is a break of the 1.636 area, then we'll be looking for a retest of it and a continuation to the top. Okay, but if price gives us a bearish signal from this 1.36 area, then we'll be looking for our sell opportunities to the bottom and possibly looking to buy from here again all the way to the top, and price giving us a double bottom pattern, which is quite common with GBP USD. As you can see from here, there's a double top here, there's a double bottom here, there's a double top here again, there's a double bottom here. So GBP USD is known for giving double tops and double bottoms, whether on higher time frames or lower time frames. So I won't be surprised if price bounces off this level all the way back down to this weekly support level, and giving us the buy signal to the top. So that's what we'll be looking out for as well. So we can go to the daily, to the 4-hour time frame, so that we can see how to capitalize on this move. Okay, so like I said, what I'm expecting is price to reach this level. Actually, may not get to that level, but I'm expecting price to actually get here, at least to touch it, even if it's a wick that is formed, or if price jumps a bit over the weekend and starts from here. So it could be a reversal down here back to this area, give it forming a double bottom, and then we can take it to the top, either back to this level here, or wait for a break of this area and a retest, and then continue taking it to the top. Or price could just break this area and just continue straight to the top. Okay, so this is what we'll be looking out for GBP USD for the upcoming week. We're looking at this key area of resistance, that's the 1.36 area, and we're looking to see how price would react to this area. So we have to be patient and wait for price to get there, and wait for price reaction, and just look for a way to capitalize on it. Okay, here we can draw a trend line as well, but I'm not exactly sure how reliable that trend line would be. But if we draw a trend line all the way down here, okay, so this just basically means that if price does bounce from here, then it will probably bounce from this trend line all the way down here, then break this trend line to the top, retest the area of support, and continue to the area, so to the top. So it more or less confirms what I've been saying. And then so this is what we'll be looking at for GBP USD. I am going to be bullish on GBP USD. I'm looking for buy trades, but these areas are key areas that I'll be looking out for and looking to take my buy opportunities. So next we'll be talking about GBP JPY. So for GBP JPY, again, we'll be looking at from the weekly time frame, so that we can plot our key areas. So you can see price got to this level of support here, as you can see on the weekly time frame, a very key area as well, because it's rejected multiple times from there. And if we move this all the way to the left hand side, you can see that price has also rejected it as well several times in the past. Okay, so a lot of rejections here, and when price finally broke, it's rejected 1, 2, 3, 4, and this 5, 6. This 6 rejection. And so we know that that is a very, very strong area. And I've always said that as well, that if price gets down to that area, it's going to reject, because when it comes to support and resistance, the more times an area is tested, the stronger that area is. And so we can see that lovely rejection there. Okay, and then we can plot our weekly resistance level here, which is over here. And if price gets there, then we'll be looking for a massive move, either a break to the upside or a bounce to the downside. So if we go to the daily time frame, we can see that the rejection 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, immediately price got here, rejected straight to the top. Okay, we can also plot our trend line on the daily time frame. Okay, so just to give us an idea of where we are at in terms of this trade. And yeah, so we can see that price has rejected multiple times of the trend line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and there was a false breakout here before rejecting to the downside, and now price is heading back towards that trend line. Okay, and there is a level of resistance there as well that I'll plot on the 4-hour time frame. But let's just plot the daily resistance, which is that area over there, represented by the red zone. Okay, so this is also another area of resistance. So if we go to a 4-hour time frame, we can see that the rejection of this area all the way to the top. Okay, and our price is heading towards this 4-hourly resistance area over here. Okay, so if I plot it here, and a yellow color. All right, so what we can see is possibly a move all the way to the top to this area here, and we'll see how price reacts on the 4-hour time frame for GBP JPY. At the moment, I am not too keen on this particular trade, but I'll just be observing to see how price reacts. We can draw this trend line here as well, and we can see that price is already trying to reverse off this trend line. If you go to a much smaller time frame, say the daily time frame, we can see that price is just around this trend line as well. So for this particular trade, I wouldn't be trading GBP JPY as of yet. I'm just going to wait for better opportunities. I'm still expecting price to continue to the top. All right. Because it's given us one or multiple times, 1, 2, 3. But we have to be careful because each time price is testing this resistance area or this support area, it's giving us a lower low. Okay, which is a weakening buy force. Okay, so anytime price bounces up, comes all the way down here, it bounces off that area again, it forms a lower high, it bounces off that area again, forms another lower high, and back to that area again, and it's about to bounce, and it could get to this trend line, like I said, or this support area. Okay, and form on or this resistance area and form another lower high, okay, before coming back down, and it could eventually break this level all the way to the downside. So we have to be very, very careful. On the other hand, it could come back down and continue to the top, okay, and break this trend line to the upside. So we have to be very careful on how this trade is going to react. If it continues in this pattern where price continues to form this lower high patterns, then I'll be expecting that price is going to break this resistance area eventually and continue to the downside. So we have to look out for that as well. So if you're going to trade this, then you can wait for a longer time frame to form properly before you trade it, or you can trade it on the 15 minutes or 1 hour time frame and capitalize on some of the up and down moves on this trade. But I personally wouldn't be trading GBP JPY for now. So this is my analysis for the 4 major pairs. I hope this video has been very helpful to you. If it has, kindly leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll be putting out more videos weekly, and hopefully during the week as well I'll put out some videos or some short videos for my analysis or the trades that I'm taking in the upcoming week. Thank you very much for the support. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next analysis video. Peace.